Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I get asked questions by you guys, my viewers, all of the time. So once every few weeks I'm going to answer some of the most asked questions that seem relevant. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments below about Star Citizen, my channel, or VR, whatever, and I'll answer them there, or get round to putting them into a video at some point. So first off, when will Squadron 42 be released? Squadron 42 Episode 1 is planned to be released this year in 2016, and I would expect it will be towards the end of the year, although I don't have accurate information on the exact release date. What ship or package do you recommend? So the cheapest game package you can get is what I recommend, whatever that might be at the time. You can always upgrade that later. I think at the moment getting the Aurora LN game package for $45 is the greatest deal available. You get everything you need. And you can obtain everything in game. So people that want to spend $15,000, go ahead. Thriftbot will not allow me to do such purchases. Buying the cheaper the better for me, because you'll be able to experience the game as it's intended from start to finish. You're going to get more gameplay. But if you do want a little extra, and you're thinking, well, I want something a little bit better than a starter ship, maybe consider an Avenger Titan for an extra $15 from that Aurora LN. It's a very versatile, powerful ship with cargo, and it gives you a lot of options in gameplay. It's a very good dogfighter. It's extremely good multi-role, and it's just got loads of upgradable options that you can get in verse that will allow you to go down any route, or at least experience lots of the game before you start to really specialise in anything. What are your PC specs, and when are you planning on upgrading? So I have a 4790K i7 processor, and it is one of the best processors I've seen for gaming at the moment. It really meets my needs. It's great bang for buck. Great processor, that. I've also got 16 gigs of RAM and an NVIDIA 980 Ti. That is an amazing graphics card, so I don't really need anything at the moment. I am going to be trying to make another cheapish PC out of server parts. It's going to be another dual-core CPU setup, and it's going to either be between 24 and 40 logical cores, based on price and what server I can pick up. And I might even use that as my main PC based on how it performs and what I can actually pick up again. There are issues using servers and workstations as gaming PCs, but I'll see what happens with it as I build it. I'm considering RAM disks and all sorts as well for Star Citizen, but budget is always the main concern for me. Please check out the description below for the scrap heap VR and Star Citizen ready PC I built for $150. It was absolutely fantastic, that one, but yeah, check that out. But there is also going to be the NVIDIA Pascal GPU stuff coming out this year pretty soon, and it's going to really superpower some games. The architecture for that is looking fantastic. So for anyone thinking of upgrading, waiting is always the best thing you can do. Everything gets cheaper and more powerful, and Star Citizen's only in alpha at the moment, so there doesn't seem to be a rush unless you desperately want to be playing super high settings in the alpha at the moment. For me, I like to get everything for as much bang for buck as possible. So it doesn't really matter on the cost, as long as it's getting this performance for that, and as long as I look at it and don't go, well, I'm spending $1,000 to get very little extra performance, so that would be bad. I'll be getting a Pascal card when they come out for sure. There's also a link to my specs in the description below as well for anyone that's really interested in seeing exactly what I've got set up for mics and everything else as well. What ships do I have and why? So this has got a complex question, and I'll try and answer it the best I can. I have a Sabre, an Endeavour, an Orion, a Hull B, a Retaliator, but I'm going to be upgrading the Retaliator to a Carrack, and I have all the upgrades already. A Starfarer with upgrades to make it into a Banu Merchantman if I want to, and an Aurora MR as my starter package, or as my game package. The Sabre is going to be my main combat ship. On paper, it is my favourite dogfighter, and I love the way it looks and its description and its blurb. I love the idea of having a stealth ship. I love the idea of having an agile ninja when it comes to dogfighting. It's got some powerful weapons. It's literally perfect for the way I play. I also love non-combat roles, and in fact it's going to be probably the main thing I do in Star Citizen. I am an economy player at heart. The idea of UEC coming into my bank account makes me happy. The Endeavour It's going to allow me to do lots of videos on science, which is going to be a large part of the game. There's so many things you can do with the Endeavour as well. A massive spectrum of gameplay, farming, hospital stuff, medicine, exploration and discovery, as well as making drugs. I am really into pretty much all of that. The Orion is the first ship I ever saw in Star Citizen that I really, really wanted. I used to mine all the time in EVE. I love the idea of semi-complex mining systems. So this is going to, in Star Citizen, it looks like there's going to be lots of different stuff going on which needs to be organised and planned, and you get rewarded for that. I love the idea of those credits rolling in based on being efficient. It's a nice thing to do as well, chill out in an asteroid field when you're I don't know, tense, listening to some music. Obviously, you might get a bit more tense if some people start to come and rob you or raid you and pirates attack, but I think it's going to be fun. I still think, actually, the Orion is probably the ship I'm most excited about. I also have a Hull B. Now, this is an upgrade from the Gladius and Gold reward. So if you get 10 recruits in the referral system, you get given the Gladius and Gold reward, which gives you a whole Gladius. But I don't need a Gladius. I've got a Sabre. I don't like having ships that are exactly the same, exactly the same role, or really overlap too much. And I thought, why not get a Hull B? It was a free upgrade from the Gladius to the Hull B, and maybe it'll get more use. I might use it for something. It might come out, might be one of the first like cargo ships to come out. Who knows? At the very least, I'll sell it or something. It feels like to me that it has more use to me than a Gladius does. I also have a Retaliator at the moment, but I have the upgrades to turn that into a Carrack, and as soon as the Carrack is hangar ready, I'll switch over to the Carrack. The Carrack for me is the top tier exploration ship, and exploration is one of the most exciting things about Star Citizen for me. Being able to explore systems, planets, and jump points. There is a lot going on with the Carrack. It has the Pisces snubcraft for scouting around and doing exploring things. It has a buggy for exploring down on the planets as well. Loads of high-tech equipment and modules, mapping rooms, med bays. It's going to be an amazing ship, and I love the idea of it. The Starfarer as well. I want to make some content on it. It's the main reason I have one at the moment. I may even keep it if it's cool and I feel that it's fun or whatever, or it suits more of a role than just mining. I don't want to have to go, oh, shall I be making credits in my Starfarer or shall I be making credits in my Orion? If like the Orion could be making more money, then I'll probably get rid of the Starfarer. But if it feels a totally different role, that Starfarer, if I need one in a fleet, if it's really useful to have, I really quite like the idea of mining fuel as I fly around the verse, making some extra credits, helping out some people that are stranded maybe. But if I don't like it, then I'm going to be changing it up for the Banu Merchantman. I love the idea of cargo and hauling, and the Banu Merchantman looks beautiful. But we're not getting too much information on the Banu Merchantman at the moment, so we'll have to see. I don't have to decide now. I can stay with the Starfarer until the Banu Merchantman comes out. Also, I obviously have that Aurora MR because it's my game package, and I might still get some use out of the old gal in the verse. I'll probably get you some videos on that and that sort of stuff as well. What's the best ship in Star Citizen? There is no best ship in Star Citizen. There are lots of ships that suit different tasks better than others. So, obviously, Arena Commander is going to have different levels of what's better or good at certain situations than the actual Star Citizen PU. So for dogfighting, which is what Arena Commander is going to be mostly about, I like the idea personally of the Sabre more than anything else. Although some people might prefer the Super Hornet, some people might even prefer faster things like the 350R. There is going to be a lot going on with dogfighting and Star Citizen. There is no best ship, only a ship that is good for a particular situation. So for mining, the Orion's going to be a powerhouse. For science, there's the Endeavour. For exploration, there's going to be the Carrack. But even in these disciplines, these ships might not be the best for a particular situation. You may want a smaller miner because of a dense asteroid field, or you might want a smaller exploration ship like a 315P to map a small jump point. Ships are not black and white in Star Citizen. Pretty much everything is going to be situational, and it's all going to be about your skill, the way you fly, your loadouts. There's going to be so many different factors. There is no best ship. What am I planning to do in game? So I can't say for 100% exactly yet, because obviously it's early days yet. In the PU, I'm going to be doing mostly economy-based things, mining, trading, science, but I do want to do some exploration and combat too. I run an organisation called Nomad Black, which is going to be specialised in acquiring alien ships and technology and protecting the UEE fringe systems. So coordinating that will take up a lot of my time too. I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything, but stuff that makes the most credits is going to be what I'd be focusing on, and just generally things that I think look cool for content, filming stuff. I'm going to be running one of those little news vans, running around in a Reliant news van. I think there's some cool stuff that you're going to be able to do in them too. Mouse, keyboard, and HOTAS stuff. So I use a mouse and keyboard mostly. I have an Element gaming keyboard, which is a very inexpensive mechanical keyboard with I think cherry red switches or something akin to that. It's very nice, smooth activation, easy to press. It's not clacky. It's really nice. And ThriftBot approves because it was cheap as hell. I also have a Roccat Neath mouse, which I really like. It's modular button-wise, so I've configured it for my hands and my needs, and it suits my tiny little hands too. I have used dual stick, stick and mouse, various HOTAS like the X55 Rhino, the X52 and the Pro version of that as well, and the Warthog, but I prefer keyboard and mouse at the moment, mainly because I'm going to be continuously switching between dual screen with one screen running something else like YouTube or whatever, but also from first person to first-person shooter to in the cockpit and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to need my mouse and keyboard. I'm going to be doing a lot of first-person shooter fighting in Star Citizen. So we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, I'm leaning towards mouse and keyboard a lot. I'll be getting the Star Citizen branded HOTAS and keyboard stuff, if only to make a review on it and to be able to talk about it with some more knowledge if asked. See if it's good, see if it's crap, all that sort of stuff. Are you going to be streaming? I have streamed in the past, and it's crazy time-consuming and really hard. I'm not really sure how streamers do it, but I will be streaming in the future, probably, though, with a regular partner. So they're going to do all the hard work and maintain everything for me, and I'll just turn up for a few hours each day to play Star Citizen, to mess around, and to do something cool. But yeah, it's the time-consuming aspect of streaming, which is really, really hard for me. Plans for videos and my channel in general. I want to do guides, tutorials, explanations, how-to videos, as well as little bits and bobs of gameplay and videos and stuff, just for Star Citizen in general. I want my fingers in as many different Star Citizen video and content pies as possible. I'm going to be covering combat to a certain extent, lots of meta too, looking at weapon stats, min-maxing, all that sort of jazz too. I'll be looking at hardware, peripherals, and a good amount of VR stuff, all with a Star Citizen flavour in mind. I'm going to be getting a HTC Vive, the chaperone system that it has with its front-facing camera, and the possibility of better Source 2 integration really does appeal to me, as does moving around in a larger space in general. I've also got a Omni treadmill coming to me too, very soon, so you'll see me in a treadmill VR headset circumstance kind of little room with cameras on me running around in Star Citizen probably relatively soon. I want to work with as many streamers and citizens as possible, both in-game and for making content. Redacted, Test, Explore, the corporation, streamers, YouTubers, whoever. Getting a big, inclusive community is what matters to me. What events am I excited about or am I going to be attending in 2016? So in the UK, there's the Insomnia Gaming Festival that happens 3 times a year. It's a big LAN and gaming expo. I love it, and I'll go at least twice a year. First one is going to be at the end of March that I'm going to, which is going to be my birthday. Woo! I do loads of schmoozing there, and there might be a Star Citizen meetup too, so that's going to be great. It's going to be my time off, but, you know, I'll be vlogging and doing lots of stuff there. It'll be great. We are also trying to organise a big Star Citizen fan meetup in summer up in Manchester too. More about that when I know more. CitizenCon this year as well, I'm obviously excited about. I live in the UK though, and I can't justify the expense of flying over there. But Saurus and Twerk have hinted they might be getting me up there somehow. So maybe, who knows? I go to various events like anime cons, like MinamiCon, VR events. There's the VR World Conference that's happening up in Bristol in a few weeks. They pop up and I turn up basically when I see them, if they're viable to go to and I'm not too busy. But mostly I want to be working on creating videos every day for the next year and a half, because Star Citizen's going to explode and it's really important for my channel to make sure I've got the content there, I've got the backbone there, and I know what I'm doing when the game comes out, because it's still a massive learning experience for me. What User.cfg do you use? Well, I've got loads of guides on making your own, so check in the description for how to make your own. But I literally just run one that turns off motion blur and depth of field effects. I'll link it in the description for those that are interested, but it's literally really simple, the one I use. Is Star Citizen pay to win? No, everything is obtainable in game. The super expensive stuff that you hear people purchasing is to help fund the game, and it will give them a speed advantage if your win condition that you've self-imposed upon yourself is to get one of those ships that they get with their package, or to have more money when you start the game with anyone else. I suppose you could sell all those ships for UEC. But Star Citizen is dynamic and about working together, multi-crewing and all that jazz. I mean, the fact that you can get everything in game, and the game isn't black and white for what's the best and what you can do in this giant sandbox PU, it means that it doesn't really matter if you've bought all the ships. You're still not going to win. You can just grab yourself a game package, that's all you need, literally all you need, and then you get a more rich and deep flavour of gameplay. You're going to get to play the game at all levels. I don't see the comparison between pay to win, but I mean, I respect people's worry about it. What other concept ships are we going to see this year? So there's the light corvette. We don't know too much about this. It's basically replacing what the Idris was originally supposed to be, although I think it's going to be smaller than that, and we don't know too much. I hope it's going to be a Drake brand, because I love the idea of a Drake corvette, but we'll have to wait and see. There's the Asperia Prowler as well. It's basically the Tavaran boarding ship. Again, we think the Tavaran are a little bit Egyptian-y, but we'll have to wait and see. And the Drake Monarch, which was previously called the Buccaneer. It's supposed to suit some players that want to replace their Cutlass. It's going to be the combat variant of the Cutlass for dogfighty-ness, is basically what I understand it to be. It's going to be fast, it's going to be agile, it's going to have guns. What are we getting in the next patch or release of Star Citizen? So I've done a couple of videos on this, and I'll link them in the description. It covers what I think is going to be in the 2.2 release, and what we can expect as a more overview type look at 2016 in general. So please check that out if you haven't already. So that's it for my frequently asked or questions and answers this time. Please put more questions in the comments below. I'll try and answer them best I can, and when I can, and I might put them into a video, or I might just answer them then and there. Any feedback you want to give to guys is always appreciated. Ideas on content is just... You guys really are a source of inspiration for my videos and really help to keep my channel going. Thank you so much to my Patreons. You guys give me great ideas. Your extra money that you provide allows me to do stuff quicker. And expect lots more Star Citizen from me for the next few years. So thank you so much for this, guys. The opportunity to do videos basically for you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the verse.